Welcome to RVing in New England, the nation's only forum that puts you on stage with some of the biggest names in the RV industry. And now your hosts, John DiPietro and Bob Zagami.
Well, I'm back in the saddle again here, Johnny. Thank you so much for having me on tonight. RVing in New England is co-hosted by me, Uncle Bernie. And of course, John's been on the road all day long. He showed up at his house 10 minutes ago, and I can't believe
I'm still jet lagged, Bernie. I'm still jet lagged.
Still jet lagged? You're going to be jet lagged for the next 3 days, I have a feeling.
Exactly. And you know what? Jet lag isn't bad because it means you're doing things. And we're finding out new things about the RV industry. And one of the things that we know about the RV industry, because we saw these folks out there as our sponsors for this show, tonight are our friends at Seacoast RV, and they are on Route 1 up in Saco, Maine.
Well, let me put the banner up, buddy. There you go.
They've got elevation products. We visited that factory. We visited the crop factory, and both of those places presented Kenny and Amanda and their crew with #1 dealer in the entire United States. So #1 crop model dealer in the entire country, #1 elevation park model dealer. So we went over there. We got popcorn and candy and stuff at crop. We got barbecue, excellent barbecue at elevation. But we saw Kenny, we saw Amanda, and we also stopped at the Winnebago booth. And not the Winnebago, I shouldn't say booth. When you're in Elkhart, all of the manufacturers have certain areas. The two park model companies work right out of their own factories, and they're right in the area, and it was great. So,
oh my gosh, that must have been fantastic, especially the barbecue, right?
The barbecue, you know what? I have pictures of that. I didn't want to bore our audience with pictures, but it was a great time. Bob is still out there. He may be joining us tonight if he can pull himself away from stuffing himself with shrimp and crab and all that other good stuff. But you know what? There's so many new products coming out for the next year that'll be available actually starting next week at dealerships all over New England. So we want to do a shout out, Bernie, to the dealers that we saw in Elkhart. It's the 12th to 13th annual open house where all the manufacturers display their new products for the next year. And we saw folks there from Campers Inn, which is your place. We saw all the orange shirts. Okay.
Yeah, they saw orange shirts all over some of those pictures you guys took.
Yep. We saw Chris Andro from Hemlock Hill. We saw Tim Christensen, who was there from Tim's RV. We saw a lot of the guys from Pete's RV, and as I mentioned earlier, the folks from Seacoast. So
wow. Well, can we say hi to the few people that are hanging out with us already? We got to
go right ahead, Bernie.
Yeah, we got a visit from Walter Swenson, the evening all from Central Florida. I hope your weather's staying good over there. And I know you've been having some trouble, but Jerry Plant, good evening from Cape Cod. Good old Cape Cod, home of the best chips in the country. And Dante Vespignani, yeah, evening all. And New England RV Roof LLC, that's James Conboy. Yeah, loving him, all right. And Jim Keenan. Do I know Jim Keenan?
Yeah. Jim was our guest a couple weeks ago. Jim works part-time now at Pete's.
Oh, he does.
I saw him last week or 2 weeks ago down in Hershey.
Okay.
So he was our guest because he just went cross-country. I think it was 6 weeks, Jim, right? You and your wife, 6 weeks this summer. And he knows all about that. In fact, I think he came right through Elkhart. I'm not sure exactly, but anyway, you know, one of the places that we visited, as I alluded to the fact that it was in one of the displays was the Winnebago display, and we had an opportunity to speak with Russ Garfin on the Solus product. It's not a brand new, but there's a lot of innovations on the Solus product. And well, look at Chris Andro just said hello. Chris is still in Elkhart. And we did see some amazing RVs and cool news. And
did you want to take a look at Russ's video here?
Well, why don't we do this? Why don't we, while Chris is with us, why don't we go to the video that says Andros and Kevin?
Ah, I got your hand. Yeah, I got it. Let's do it.
Okay? So
Ready?
let's play that right now. Everybody, we are in Elkhart, Indiana. We are at the Thor Keystone Cougar display. And we have some familiar faces. On my right, your left, we have Chris Andrum from Hemlock Hill RV in nearby Connecticut. And in the opposite corner, we have Kevin Horkey from Keystone and Cougar, and he is their rep. So the deal is this. In my opinion, the dealer has to have a great relationship with the customer to make their RVing experience happy. Yep. But also at the same time, the dealer has to have a great relationship with the manufacturer to get issues solved or to get a new model that's hard to find and that type of thing. But you guys have had a long-term relationship. Tell us what it's like working with this guy.
With Kevin?
Yeah, with Kevin.
It's an adventure.
I'm not writing this script, folks.
Working with, first of all, working with Keystone in general, it's a great partnership. And they talked about it this morning at the breakfast, but, they do everything to make sure that our partnership is successful, like you talked about, like having guys like Kevin, long-term sales rep that care about their interest. I don't know how many times he was in our dealership this year and at RV.
If at all?
No.
I think
4 times this year. 4 times in the dealership plus 2 shows. Yeah. He's been there, and all my sales guys have his cell phone. They can call him any time of the day, any time of the night. Kevin will always answer his phone, and that's what the good partnership is about, because he understands, just like you said, that customer, they're shopping 8, 9, 10 o'clock at night on their phone, and you need information about them. And Kevin's always there for us.
So, Kevin, we were talking before about relationships in the industry, and I'm sure as a manufacturer's rep, it's much easier for you to deal with a dealership that has a long-term, fine relationship with their customers, because it's really a win-win, right?
Oh, it's great. Chris, the good thing about training in the dealer business, it's a relationship. It's been a long-term relationship, and we continue to build on it. But Chris focuses on training, which makes my job way easier. So we always have it scheduled out. We always have a new floor plan that's coming out, or maybe some different features that come out that we can bring them up to speed. But Chris trains every morning at his dealership. So when we come in, he lets us do it the whole day. So we can do our walk-arounds, bring everybody up to speed, talk about the new floor plans, benefits, features, and it's great. If all of our dealers took the time to do training, we'd be a little bit more successful, I think. But, working with a family-owned dealership is awesome. So,
And Chris, we talked about the training aspect of it, and you just alluded to it before. You've got people that are checking out your units online. So many times, if you have a sales rep that is less informed than the buyer doesn't become the buyer.
That's true.
Right?
That's true. And that's, again, another feather in Keystone's cap.
There we go. So, from the retail location, Hemlock Hill in Connecticut, to the manufacturer in Elkhart, Indiana, everything is important. Have a great day, everybody.
Hey, that was a great video.
Well, Chris really did a great job on it, and Kevin, we've known for several years. The key to the whole thing, and I think our audience would agree, tell us, audience, that relationship that you have with your dealer is so vitally important, because that's how you get issues solved. And let's face it, when you RV, you bring your house on the road, and our highways are not in A1 condition, so that things happen. And if you're motorized, it might be on the truck side. If you're towable, it certainly would be in the back end. But you know what? You need to have that good relationship. Who else we got over here? We've got
Yes. So Bill's saying hi from the airport. Yeah. So he's in Washington, Baltimore, Washington International Airport. And then we have Charles Butler from Oswego, New York. How about that? And of course, our good buddy Estelle Drew. Yeah, she's packing up, getting ready for the weekend. So I'm really going on to Charlotte. That's fantastic.
Okay.
Yeah. And then the Haas, good evening from Clinton, Mississippi. We're in the process of heading back to Texas. I apologize for being late again. This time I can blame the time zone change. Okay, we'll forgive you on that one. We'll give you a break on that one for sure.
Hi, Walter.
Yeah, we got Walter Baran. Yeah, saying hi.
Mark Lorette, who was the proprietor of Diamond RV in Hatfield, Massachusetts, says, "Good evening, gentlemen. Working with Kevin and our old pal, Chris Stender made doing business so easy." So they had the same.
Fantastic.
So, Bernie, moving right ahead, we were talking about.
Hey, I just wanted to do a quick shout out because Kevin and his wife, they had a picture on Facebook, and I guess it was their anniversary either yesterday or today. So I wanted to wish Kevin and his lovely wife a very happy anniversary.
And you know what? That is interesting because yesterday, Kevin's wife was coming by at 4:00, and they were going to go have dessert, and it was their anniversary, and Kevin was working.
They took a picture in front of a cougar, and I got to say, and I don't know if I miswrote or whatever, but I said, "You guys look great, and so doesn't the cougar." I didn't know if that was inappropriate or not.
Bernie, it depends how they read it.
Oh, okay. But the cougar was nice. I mean, it was black, and it was shiny. It was lovely.
Well, you know what? With that in mind, why don't we, Dan? We'll call an audible here.
Okay.
And you've got one that says Jeff
Runnels,
and he's talking about the new Midnight Cougar. Go ahead. Bob had an opportunity to talk with him.
Let's do it.
All right, I'm with Jeff Reynolds, president of Keystone RV, and Jeff, Elkhart Open House is always a big time for our dealers. They always want to come home with new toys. So let's talk about this first.
We're standing in front of a new toy.
Yeah. Tell us about this one.
All right, so, trying to find buzz, trying to find something new every year. The Cougar Group came up with this. Actually, we debuted it in Hershey, full body paint. Obviously, we do all of our own paint in-house, and we've been looking to do more of it for years, so we brought it into the mid-profile world, and so far, it's been a hit, home run. We've got two of them here. We've got a gray one, black one, calling them both the Midnight Edition. Home run.
The dealers have already been talking. The dealers I've talked about, they've already written on this thing, so that people are going to really like it. Is this really a limited edition, or is it?
This will be a limited edition. This is one of those things where it's a pretty simple coach. If it goes really, really well, we could bring it into production. But we like to every year we try different things to see where it'll work. Bring it down into price points. This year, obviously, price points are the name of the game. And so we'll see. It wouldn't be exactly like this if we did it long term. So yeah, it's limited.
Yeah. What else are the dealers talking about? What are they finding unique within the Cougar line or within the Montana or all the other products that you got here today?
Well, I'll tell you what, it's a slightly smaller display. Every year we kind of evolved it. So almost everything in here is new. Right across, you've got, some new destination trailers. We've got some new price leaders here in Hideout that are right across from us. So every display you go into, you see either a new floor plan or a new price point or a new So everything the dealers are going to walk into is new for this year. So it's not exclusive to any price or any brand. You name it, we've done something different.
You mentioned the price points. The market's changed. We're in the post-COVID era. People are really sharpening their pencils. What has Keystone done to make that attractive and keep those customers coming back, which they've done for years?
You know what? I was just going to say, every 3 to 5 years, you got to do a little bit of a reset. We feature them up. We listen to the customers, and we got all these great ideas. But eventually, your price points go up. You grow a little bit quicker than some of your buyers can handle. So this is kind of that forest fire. This is that reset. And so what you're going to see in every brand is, did we take some stuff out? Did we change it? Did we negotiate different deals with suppliers? It really just depends on the product. But really, the name of the game was we got to get back to those price points, not just for dealers, but retail customers. Dealers have a more expensive carrying cost now, and then customers, they're going to work it into what payments work for them. So it really is about price points.
Well, and I think what it's going to do, because the price points are so attractive, that it's now going to bring new customers in. So it's not going to be the old customers. Yes, we priced ourselves out for a long time, but they've come back and they got new models. Mr. Hawking, how are you? That's Kevin. Kevin is over there. But I'm with Kevin's boss, so the hell with you, Hawking. So
you're on tape
bring
too,
a
but
lot of new people into the dealerships at the price point. Then you start to build that relationship, which things they can do. So many different product lines.
Well, one other thing about the product, it's not just price points, lowering the price points. It's finding new features like this. It's paint, so we didn't necessarily lower the price. We gave you something more for the price that it was. That's another key.
That's a good point. All right, Jeff, thank you very much. Always a pleasure to see you. Have a continued great show.
Wow, it's amazing the innovations that come out of Keystone year after year after year. Those guys should be very proud of what they do.
And we should say, because of Bob's relationship with Kevin and all the people at Keystone, Jeff is the president of Keystone. So he's not just
not just a regular run-of-the-mill guy.
regional product manager. He's the president of Keystone. And just before we were talking to him, Jeff was out front talking with Bob Martin, who is the president and CEO of Thor Industries, which is the largest RV manufacturer in the world.
In the world.
In the world.
So Jeff actually has a boss, and that be Don Martin.
So I'm standing there, me and Zagami, and we're talking to a guy who probably makes $7 or $8 million a year. And, later on that same day, an hour or two later, we're talking with Mike Happy, who's the CEO of Winnebago.
Wow.
And Don Clark, who's the CEO of Grand Design. We'll get into those in just a minute. But, we're talking people that are, Fortune 500 companies. So, it's great. We got this
absolutely
from Chris. Why don't you read it, Bernie? You got better eyes than me.
Chris just wrote back, hey, thanks, guys. Sorry, I can't say the whole show. Still working hard at product knowledge with Kevin Horkey. Is he teaching him, or is, Kevin teaching him? All right. Getting ready for 2024. See you next week. So I guess he's going to be on the show?
Yeah, something like that.
That.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. Yeah, I can't. Look, you were at Hershey for 7 days. Yep. I was at Hershey for 4 days. I went to Elkhart for 3 days. I don't know what time of year it is. I was talking to somebody today. The guy said about Red Sox and Yankees. I said, I thought baseball season was over. So
we're still well established into the fall already. Yeah. It's like we're already at the end of September. I cannot believe this.
Yeah. Hey, so let's move over to our friends at Winnebago. They were out at El Coya Country Club, and we got to talk with Russ Garfin about a brand new change in the Solus product, which was developed by Russ.
Let's do it.
Hey, everybody. We are at Winnebago. We're talking with our friend Russ Garfin, who is, give us that actual title.
Director of Product Management.
For B's and C's?
B's, C's, A's, everything.
Oh, everything now?
Everything now,
Okay, you got a whole bunch of new stuff.
Yeah,
okay.
Absolutely.
So, we're standing in front of probably the most eye-catching color, outside of when Winnebago took over some trailers a few years ago. Remember when they had those trailers that were orange and yellow
colors,
and green?
Right.
Skittles color. Okay, the Solus is catching on, and I'm starting to see it more and more about in campgrounds. Tell us a little bit about what makes this one special outside of the paint job.
Yeah, well, the Solus is really, it fights with the Travato for the #1 position in retail sales in North America for the ProMaster chassis. So it does very well for us. Once in a while, we like to switch up the colors and bring a new color in. This one is Spitfire Orange. So it's pretty, it stands out, and some of our owners like to have something bright and shiny, not gray and dark, right? For that kind of fits the mood of seeing this all of these places in the country. So Spitfire Orange, it really draws a lot of attention. This is the PX floor plan. This is the one that has the generator and the pop top and the air conditioner. Okay. So it's really
this is the high end.
The high end one, but it's also the one that is really allows a person to, camp year round. It's well insulated. It's got all the right equipment.
Okay, year round camping.
Yeah, but it's really kind of just enough to do everything.
The throwback aspect of this is that old Volkswagen van look with that. And Bob, come on in here because Russell showed me the other day. We don't have the ladder here right now, but up here is really a full-size bed, right, Russ?
Oh yeah, it's very comfortable.
It's a full-size bed.
Yeah.
And you don't want to see me try to climb up there without a ladder, folks.
No.
And then you really got sleeping back there, a double bed as well.
So people like that's so some people, will just use that as their main bed, and then they use that. That's a kind of a area for storage. You bring your bikes inside and all that stuff. Other people make this into a bed, and then you know, they use the pop top just when they bring their grandkids or something like that.
Exactly. So you've been the brainchild of this and the Travato and
Well, I got a
you,
great
Navia.
team, so I wouldn't.
Yep.
I don't want to say I'm the brainchild. Really not. This Chris Beanert is the product manager for our Class Bs, and he does a great job. But we have a lot of people in Winnebago that get things done. I just have the good luck to be the guy that gets to talk to you.
Gets to talk to me. Yeah, the lucky guy. So that's the scoop from what color again?
Spitfire Orange.
Spitfire Orange display at Winnebago. Back to you in the studio.
Well, John, that was a pretty interesting product for the size of it that could actually sleep 4 people and travel with 4 people. Rarely do you see something of that size that can accomplish that.
Yep, and it had a very interesting bathroom. It's a wet bath, but it's got the regular toilet. It's not one of those little chemical toilets that you have to.
Oh, it wasn't a cassette. Good.
Yeah, cassette toilets, that type thing. So anyway, while that show was on, Jerry Plant said the season is over for the Red Sox. Jerry, I think that was kind of like since June. But you know what? Now we got to yell at the Patriots. It used to be that, when the fall came, you put the RV away or you RV'd. Well, let's ask our audience. Have any of them RV'd and tailgated at a college football game, a high school game, or a pro game? Because that is huge business down south. I'm trying to get down to LSU.
Yep. So put your tailgating notes in there right now, if you don't mind, and we'll post you on the show. The other thing I was wondering from the audience is, there's so many new innovations coming out. I'm wondering if there's some things that the RV industry is still missing and that our audience would love to see in an RV that they haven't seen yet. So those 2 questions, tailgating and innovation.
Yeah. So Dante, did you go to Penn State? Have you been to a game at Penn State? Because we've been down to Happy Valley, and that is absolutely amazing. Bernie, let's put it in New England terminology. You're driving up Route 3.
Okay.
Not 93, but Route 3, and you're in a quiet area, and then all of a sudden you come over a hillside, and you don't see the campus. You just see thousands of motorhomes, high-end motorhomes.
Wow.
Off in the field, and then you go over another hill, and there's the football stadium.
That is brilliant.
Yep.
Oh, okay. So James Conboy says, I did a Patriots game in my old Class C with 10 friends, had a blast. And he lived to tell about it. That's fantastic.
Didn't get arrested or anything.
Yeah, stayed out of jail. That's good. And then we had Dante. Yes, I went there and tailgated there at a game also. So, Penn State was Dante's place. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Penn State, they're back. They're a team that's back and they're ready to play. And I'm looking forward to having some great season, college football season. I don't know if anyone follows college football, but Penn State's in it this year. They're in it to win it.
And Ohio State is in it as well. And the game that we went to was Penn State versus Ohio State down in Pennsylvania. But today, sitting on the plane, I was speaking to a person who was leaving South Bend today. She had gone to the South Bend Notre Dame game, and she said, I had friends that we RV'd and tailgated on Saturday before the game, but she said our friends got there on Thursday. So she didn't get there until Friday night. She flew in. They met her. And you know what? Look at this time of year. It's the perfect time of year. And,
earlier Walter asked or talked about GL24 floor plan in the Thor. Do you know what that is? I'm not sure what that is because they have so many brands.
Walter, if you can be more specific on that one. Okay, they're GL24. I'm not familiar with that, but tell us. I know Walter's looking into a Class C. So
because they got only about 375 brands of products. So if you could isolate that a little bit, we'd greatly appreciate it. Oh, there he is. It's a new Class C.
I didn't see that, Walter. I did not see it. Maybe if you have a picture of it, you can.
But what brand is it? Is it the?
I don't know whether it's the Thor brand,
Gemini, or is it? I don't know. They have all 4 Seasons. They got all kinds of Chateau. They got all kinds of stuff. Yeah.
Bernie, you had asked about is there anything new? You asked our audience, is there anything new?
Oh, Quantum. Yeah, we carried that before. Yeah.
Okay. And there is something new coming out from Winnebago, staying at Winnebago at that display. Bob got to talk with Adam Christensen about the new M series. And here's what Adam and Bob had to say. We shot this yesterday morning.
And we are in Elkhart, and I'm with Adam Christensen on Winnebago. And Adam, we come to your display here at the the dealer open house. And we see this thing called the M series. And you didn't release the press release till this morning.
Well,
what you got?
We had a lot of attention the last, 2 to 3 weeks on Access with the digital launch and Hershey and everything, which John and I talked to at there. And we kind of kept this quiet, under wraps. We feel like we kind of created the lightweight laminated space a number of years ago with our Micro Mini being 7 foot wide. And we've seen a lot of other competitors come out with a like type product, but maybe not as full feature. And so the price points were always a little bit under ours. And then as COVID, we go through and hyperinflation and price creep. Our Micro Mini is still a well sought after product, but the price has just kind of gone up. And now today's consumer, there's pressure at the gas pump, there's pressure with interest rates, and our Micro Mini is super appealing to a customer that's coming out of maybe a motorhome or a big fifth wheel, and they can appreciate all the upgraded amenities in a trailer that's under 26 feet or 5,000 pounds or less. But the potential first-time buyer that is coming to the market that's looking for a narrow body, lightweight travel trailer may not need all those upgraded amenities. They don't need an axle lift kit or torsion axles or off-road tires. And so we just didn't have a product line that was checking the box for them. And so M Series is out now in a narrow body, 7 foot wide, laminated travel trailer with the same build quality and construction of a Micro Mini, but it has, your 15-inch road tires, it has leaf spring suspension, and we're going to offer this at a price point where we can help meet consumers where they're at today.
I think you hit it right on the head. The price point of this, without taking things out, without making it a less inferior product, you've hit that under that $30,000 with all in this series. I think it's going to drive a whole new customer base coming into the industry, the one that we had lost for a couple of years.
Correct.
With the increase through COVID. So you've addressed the market at probably the just about the right time.
Absolutely. We've been sitting on some of these projects for the last couple of years, just waiting for the right time to enter the market. And there's a surplus of inventory from suppliers that they're willing to work through, and we're really just trying to bring all that together and come out at a time where everybody else is racing to the bottom to take features out,
right,
where we can come in and really just hit a home run at this price point.
Well, I'm sure the dealers are going to keep you busy, so I'm going to let you get back to that. But what a great product line, and best of success with it.
All right, thank you.
Wake up, Johnny. You okay, buddy?
Oh, I'm great. I'm great. I'm
Yeah,
reading.
that was a wonderful product, and I really think that's the way the industry needs to dial it down a little bit, price-wise, and give features that are important to them without overdoing the opulent factor. You know what I mean?
And that's exactly what Adam said. Some people might not need a heavy-duty suspension if they're not going to go off-road.
Right.
So with that being said, maybe what we should do, Bernie, well, let's look at Jim Keenan's.
Yeah, I'll be happy to pop that up. Sure.
I sold a motorhome to Barstool Sports, and that coach did about 70,000 miles of college game tailgating. It took a lot of abuse, and if those walls I can imagine.
That's a book right there, I think, John.
Yep. Barstool Sports guy was just on national TV with an issue over these last couple of weeks. I forget what it was.
Really?
It was national, and it was political, and I forget, maybe our audience knows what Barstool Sports, the president, and I think he's a Boston guy anyway, if I recall correctly. But
all right,
whatever. So maybe we should talk about Walls Could Talk. Take our break for our sponsor.
Yeah, you could take a little nap or something, and have a shot of coffee,
yeah,
and
exactly.
And we'll listen to our sponsor.
At about 8:05, I will be asleep. So
stick around, folks.
Yeah.
Hey, it's Joe from 1019 POR, and it's time for another exciting episode of Seacoast RV TV. You know, soon this wet rain is going to turn into a little of this. It's time to start thinking about winterizing your RV. You could trust the professionals at Seacoast RV. Or, let's be honest, you could just do it yourself. I mean, how difficult could it really be to winterize your RV? Hey, what's this switch do? Okay, so maybe you should trust the folks at Seacoast RV on Route 1 in Saco. That way you won't have any problems in the springtime. Oil! I need oil! When you trust Seacoast RV, they'll guarantee there'll be no breaks in the spring from winterization. They'll drain all the water out of the lines, fill them full of antifreeze to help prevent any freeze up, so that way when spring rolls around, you'll be ready to hit the road again. So there you have it. Don't be a Joe. When you need to get your RV or towable winterized, trust the professionals here at Seacoast RV. #1 for family fun, Route 1 in Saco. We'll see you next time on another edition of Seacoast RV TV.
You know, John, I was just the other day, I was walking around and I thought I saw your nephew. He kind of came into view, but he was so confused. He didn't know what he was saying, you know, what he was doing. He didn't even know where to go. So I pointed him towards the restroom, and then he had this really perplexed look on his face, like, now I'm more confused. So I sat the poor guy down and fed him a little bit of lunch, and hopefully all was better after that. But that was an incredible experience meeting your nephew.
Bernie, dented cans always are good for a little $1 off here.
Oh, yeah.
So,
absolutely. You know, I stole those pictures from your Facebook page.
Probably, I can imagine that. But, you know, our friend, David Portnoy, that's right. And Jim Keenan says Portnoy is the real deal. Jim, did you deal with him directly, or did he have one of his people come over? But anyway, Barstool Sports. Always something cool. Let's keep going here.
Yeah, let's do it.
You know what? Along with our
talk to next.
Well, one of our friends at Seacoast is Joel, who's the president of Elevation Park Models, and Bob had a chance to speak with them in one of their brand new park models. I think it's Joel and one of the other principals of the company, but these are really put together nicely. So let's go back to Elkhart, Goshen, Indiana, and see our friends at Elevation.
Hey, we got something special for you today. I'm at Elevation Park Model Homes with two of the owners, Joel and Brent, and we walked into this unbelievable park model. And we know you guys know park models. This is not your father's park model. Tell us a little bit about it. I mean, this is really gorgeous. And John will do a little sweep here and give our fans a really good look.
Well, Brent and I want to thank you guys, honestly, for coming. You guys do so much for our industry, and we're happy to have you here. I know this is your first visit here to the factory, but yeah, we are in our brand new 7 Series. This is, why don't you guys slide around here a little bit so John can get us all. This is brand new for us. You know, we came out last year with the 5 Series. That was kind of our breakout into the world here, and from there we've been able to expand. So we're now in a 7 Series, which is our top of the line. We've been able to do things in this unit that nobody else is doing. We're using Anderson windows for the first time in a park model. We're using hardwood trim. Brent, why don't you tell them a little more about what's going on here?
So we're giving options that are more residential. So rather than just off-the-shelf cabinetry, we're doing plywood boxes, everything soft close automatically. But then you get into things like your appliance packages, and I mean, this is the cafe line, so it's not GE, it's not GE profile, it's its own brand that's extremely high-end and customizable.
Well, you know, looking at this, the industry has, for the last few years, talked about residential units.
Sure.
But all they did was make them a little bit bigger, and they made them look like a house. This feels like a house. I mean, look at the framing on your Anderson windows. Everything about this, if you dropped somebody in the middle of it, put a blindfold on, blocked out the windows, opened it up, they'd say, where's this housing development?
you think,
Where did you do this? Looks and feels.
Yeah.
So you're delivering what we've talked about for a couple of years now.
I think Brent and I have really tried to focus on using that name brand recognition. So some of the finishes that haven't typically been used in park models. I mean, you've got Simmons Beauty Rest mattress, you've got Kohler faucets and toilet. So zip system OSB. I mean, we're really trying to hit on the residential construction, like you mentioned.
Talk louder.
Some might not
Talk
know.
louder while I'm down at this end. Go ahead.
Okay, some might not know what zip OSB is.
So it's like taking OSB, but then adding your Tyvek and your waterproof properties. If you drive around any commercial building or housing building areas, they're all using this. It's the green OSB that you see everywhere on the side of the road. And it adds all the waterproof properties that you would have to do layers and layers of Tyvek and all the other wraps around it. It's got its own proprietary tapes that it uses, and so it really is a phenomenal structure and seal type product.
And you've established your own dealer network in the country, so people can go to dealers. Have you found interest outside from commercial builders who might look at this and say they could build a small resort? I mean, housing prices have gone out of the world, but this is priced very fairly.
Yeah, we are. Brent and I have developed some relationships with some high-end resorts,
Yep.
both in the States and in Canada now, where they're seeing almost using us exclusively in certain parks. And that's been real exciting to us because we feel great about our product and just doing some different things that not everybody's doing.
Great. Elevation Park models available at Seacoast RVs, having family fun on Route 1 in Saco, Mass. Which, by the way,
Saco, Maine.
Saco, Maine, what did I say? But by the way, Seacoast RVs is the #1 elevation dealer in the country, right?
They'll be here this afternoon. It's Kenny's birthday today.
Kenny's birthday, I know. Imagine a birthday and you go to Elkhart, Indiana.
Lucky man.
What better?
All right.
There we go.
I couldn't believe what those look like inside. I mean,
They are amazing, folks.
in real house appliances, real house windows, the counters, the cabinets, everything. Oh my goodness.
Bernie, if you listen closely on that, which I'm sure you did, those weren't just residential appliances. Those were the highest. They were higher than GE profile, which GE has several layers.
Right.
And GE is the main one. And then GE profile is a little bit more
the Elegante. Yeah.
Cafe is, that's probably got, a couple different ice makers, crushed ice, in the door, all that stuff that would come out.
Oh, that stove, that range was beautiful. I was looking at it, I'm like, well, I could cook up a storm on that thing.
Yeah. Well, the thing is this, with park models, at least with Elevation that I know of, and Crop as well, you got your two choices. You can take one off the lot that is built for the masses, or you can totally customize it with what you want. I know when Bob bought his last one, they wanted a certain adjustments made in the bathroom.
Sure.
The washer dryer in there and that type of thing. So they'll do that because they don't mass produce these. So you've got that capability.
So you can talk to the designer or engineer or whatever and put in the components that you want to fit in there.
Yeah, that's exactly right. So let's ask our audience if they know anybody, if they've ever been in a park model and what they thought of it. So as we do that, we'll take those comments and put special note here to have Jim Conboy watch this section, because when we visited the Alliance makes some very nice, not motorized, but fifth wheels, toy haulers, and now travel trailers. So they've got 3 lines. But as we were pulling into their brand new facility in Elkhart, I noticed a room that looked like a regular garage, but it had
go ahead.
A bunch of PVC piping on it. So I said to one of the 2 owners, Coley and Ryan Brady, who are Heartland people, I believe they're Heartland people before they started their own company, which is probably 5 years old now, 4 or 5 years old. I said, what is that? He said, it's our rain room. So rather than try to explain what it is, let's go to Alliance Rain or Alliance Joe and see what he meant. Hey, everybody, we are in Elkhart, Indiana. We are at the Alliance manufacturing facility, and we are here with Joe.
Hey, everybody.
And Joe, I understand that we're waiting for it to rain so that you can test your units out to see if they're water resistant.
No, that's not how we do it anymore.
What do you mean?
You guys hear running water? You hear running water?
I think I do. What's going on?
So, over here, we got the all-new Alliance Rainbow.
Alliance Rain Bag.
Simulating a massive rainstorm. You got about 2,000 gallons of water recycling every 5 minutes.
Wow, that's amazing. So, the thing I've noticed here, folks, is that in most rainstorms, it just comes from the top down, from the sky, from the heavens. Here you've got it coming from every different angle.
Yep.
Why is that important?
Because you want to be able to simulate the wind. So sometimes it's coming from the north, the east, the west, the south, and so that way we're getting every angle possible. And we leave the slides out as well so we can test the seal.
Mr. Camera Person, do you see that those slides are out? Because the reality is that if you don't have good seal, even though your roof is okay, you got water coming inside, that's not good.
No, not at all. Okay. So that's why we built this, so that we can test our products to make sure there's no leaks when it gets to the dealership.
How long does it normally stay in the testing bed?
30 minutes.
30 minutes, okay. Yeah. So that really simulates reality.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Folks, there you have it. Direct from Alliance. This is a Paradigm. There's also the
Avenue,
Delta,
Valor, and Delta. Yep, 4 brands.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alliance RV.
Thanks a lot.
Wow, they're simulating hurricanes, tsunamis, every which angle they're shooting at water at that thing.
And the important thing is, and I'm Jim Convoy, if you're still with us, they did it with the slides out. And even if you don't have a slide topper, you still have to have a good seal, because if water leaks through your slide, it would probably leak right onto your dinette or right onto your couch. So,
well, more importantly, I've seen it a million times, is that the water creeps in right around the edges on the floor level.
Yep.
And then it starts soaking into the floor decking, and then all the trim starts to swell. Yep. That's a nightmare.
Yep. And you know what? You want to avoid that. So we want to say hello to Jim Roy, who just checked in. We talked to Jim over the weekend. They've got a big event taking place with vintage Airstreams up at Shore Hills Country Club in Booth Bay, Maine. And we're going to try to get up there on Saturday to see them.
Beautiful.
But you know what? We're talking about new stuff, but Jim Roy will tell us that Airstreams, I think most of these units are going to be over 20 years old, if not more than that. Jim, how old are those? How old do you have to be to consider vintage? Thank you for joining us as well, and thank you for apologizing.
And just to backtrack a little bit, while we're waiting, the Haas talked to us about, we're debating about selling our 2014 Jayco Greyhawk 31SS Class C and get a park model and keeping it in Texas. Well, you know where to shop for it at Seacoast, or at least go for an elevation. And then Dante said that he saw one of these elevations over at Seacoast. So, people are paying attention here tonight.
Oh, I will tell you exactly, Bernie. It's my opinion that park models are the best value in the industry as far as housing is concerned, especially seasonal housing. And you know what? If you're one of those people that likes to stay at one location all the time, I mean, look you're not going to pack up a park model and go anywhere with it. Once it's there, it's there. It only goes from the factory to the campground, and that's pretty much it. So, you
think of it as a summer home, right? It's your getaway. You can go there every weekend, or you can live there all summer and work out of there if you're still working. It's fantastic.
Yeah. See what Bob did with his, in addition to the 4 walls that have to be 399 square feet or less to qualify as an RV. He added some screen rooms on and another bedroom on and a giant deck with, that propane fireplace, that type of thing.
Oh, wow. That's what I like, Bob. He's willing to cheat to win. I'll tell you. That's
win.
So that 400 square feet, does that include the slide rooms, or is that the footage of the floor?
Well, there's no slide rooms.
On those park models? Okay.
Oh, they are, because they're 2x4 or 2x2 construction.
Oh, yeah. I got you.
They don't have the slides.
So they're just little houses. Yeah.
Exactly. And you can get them with a loft in it. So you can get another bedroom in it. I think that's what Bob did for his grandson. So anyway, it's not a vintage Airstream event. It's a vintage campers in general. Are allowed for our vintage rallies. Okay. So I thought it was an Airstream event, but I'm sure that there will be Airstreams there.
Of course.
So
those are the coolest old campers on the planet.
Taking a run up there because, you know what? Those people have a blast, because if you've got one pre-1980, you're either having it taken care of or you're taking care of it yourself. And they built those like fortresses then. So anyway, and speaking of looking of new product coming into the marketplace, we had an opportunity to talk with a second generation RV employee. His name is Austin Clark. He's the son of Don Clark, who was one of the founders at Grand Design. Austin's been out of college for a couple of years now and is climbing the ranks considerably. Now you say, well, he's climbing the ranks because he is the president is his father. Interestingly, Austin told us that during college, he went to work at Lippert, which is one of the main RV component manufacturers in the world.
Wow.
And for a whole summer worked there, and nobody knew his father was president of Grand Design. I said, Austin, why didn't you do that? He said, I want to make it on my own. So I thought that was pretty cool. And we talked to him yesterday, just before the rains came in Elkhart. And let's hear what Austin Clark of Grand Design has to say. Hey everybody, it's John DiPietro. We are at the Grand Design display. We are at Open House in Elkhart. I'm with my friend Austin Clark. Austin, welcome back to the show.
It is an honor to be back, sir.
Well, thank you for taking time from your busy day. We saw you working a whole bunch of deals today, and I will say that the crowd here is one of the bigger ones that we've seen throughout the festivities so far. Now, Austin, Transcend is a name that's been around for a while. It's been a trusted name, but just like the hotel business, every once in a while you need to refresh. And I'm told that you did one heck of a refresh on this Transcend.
We did. Our team has been hard at work. We are so excited to reveal the new 2024 Transcend. We are so excited. We did a complete overhaul of the interior and exterior of all of these units. So I'm so excited to share this with you.
Okay, so what's new on the outside?
So what's new about the outside? We got rid of the gun smoke metal on the outside and made it a nice clear white, so it looks super sharp. And then we changed our doors to a glass automotive door. So these doors are actually super strong. They're not anything new to the RV industry, but they're new to us. And so they've been proven out there in the market. They're proven to be super strong, super rugged. So we're very excited to use them on our products now. You can't see completely through them.
Oh, wait a minute, let me go inside.
Oh, please.
I'll go inside, close the door and see if you can.
You'll see the windows right up there. So if you're worried about privacy, you can still shut the window.
Interesting. It gives that appearance.
It does.
But you still get the safety of being a full-size door. So come on in, Austin. Let me show you around.
Thank you very much.
Wow. Wow. So this is something. So tell Bob what he's shooting.
Well, Bob, we have completely redesigned the interior of this unit. So before we had a darker interior. It looked very good, but we're trying to keep up with the times. You know, we always have to stay innovative and upgrading our products. And so we changed it to a new lighter encore. It's actually called Luna. Luna is the name of the decor. So completely new floor, new wall board, a new sofa and dinette booth interior.
Big windows, Austin.
Big windows, giant windows. And if you look, new lights. So we are the only industry. No more push lights, right? So both our Imagine series and Trend series have changed to this new strip light in the seams of this ceiling. They're very rigid, but what I love most about them, when you're watching a movie, you can dim them up or dim them down.
Can you turn them red and blue and yellow and have a disco right here?
No, you
Not
can't.
yet. Okay, that'll be an option.
Not this year.
Not this year.
So behind Bob is a very interesting area, which used to, this kind of was wasted space because you pushed the couch way up against the wall.
We did.
You got a lot more seating on, sleeping space.
And we changed these to actually power seats. So these are power recliners. And in a traditional built product, you never see this. And so Transcend, we're so excited to release this to the market.
There's only one problem. If I sat in that within 10 seconds, now maybe 10 minutes, I'd be out cold.
You'd be out cold?
I'd be out cold.
Or you'd be signing papers to buy a new one.
Yeah, buy a new one. Right. So we got the beds back here. And two single and a half?
Yeah, this is our 265BH. is one of the most popular floor plans for Transcend. So this is why I'm so excited to share this one with you today. It's a winner for us.
So you got sleeping there. You got sleeping here if need be, right? To drop down.
Yes.
And then as you move back this way, you've got amazing space here in at least the queen.
You do. Yes, it's a true queen. All of our travel trailers have true 60 by 80 queens.
Yep.
And you have all the space in the bedroom, a ton of closet space. We frame out all of our front caps, and so that's why you can really go in deep there.
Oh, and there's storage up there.
Yes.
Okay, I thought that was a glass.
Yes.
Okay, and plenty of
outlets, anything you need. We're thinking of everything.
the phone outlets there. What do you call them? The USB.
Yeah, USB ports.
USB outlets and good sized bathroom. Wow, good sized bathroom and a shower.
We upgraded our hardware for all the showers. It's still a porcelain toilet, which at this price point you typically don't see very often.
Okay. So Austin, what will this be available at retail stores? Rough price point of this.
You can order it now, today.
Okay.
And we leave pricing up to the dealer, the discussion up there, and you can go to our website and see what's MSRP.
Okay, good. So we want to thank you so much. And
wow, I sell that product, the 265, and the way they redesigned that floor plan, it's the same floor plan. It's a tried and true. They're the ones who came up with it about 4 years ago. But with the new recliners, I always say the people who pay for the camper ought to get the best seats. So mom and dad get the recliners, right? It's absolutely true. And then, the kids they get those bunks, but they can still peek out through the little curtains to watch TV if mom and dad are staying up later. Big U-shaped dinette in the counter space. As a chef, I look back and say, I need counter space to work with. And Walter even likes it. So there you go. And Steve Hogan really likes it as well. So Thanks, Steve, for saying nice unit. And, it is one of the favorites back in Merrimack. So
that is,
if you want to see one of those brand new,
if I recall correctly, that is their entry-level unit, the Transcend, right?
It's their entry level, but it's it's not everyone else's high end, So, if you get into some of the other high-end products like Tiffin or whatever, when it comes to towables, Grand Design's entry level is built. I can dance on the slide outs. I can dance on the roof. It's built for live-in with a live-in warranty. It's just magnificent what they're doing with that.
What do they go for? I think that was about a 28-footer. What did you say, Bernie?
Dante? Well, the box is about 28 feet, and thanks, Dante. Yeah, it's about 31 and a half feet all day.
From the tongue,
stem to stern, including the hitch.
Right to the back. Okay.
Yep.
Talking about not older models, but more established models that have had a refreshment. We've got one more from Alliance, and Bob spoke with that about the paradigm has got to look. So let's go to Alliance, back over the other end of town, and see what they've got to say.
All right, we are at Alliance RV, and welcome Joe Mell here, the marketing director. And Joe, it's a great display, and we're standing in front of one of your prized products. So tell us what we got here. We can't show everything that you got. Yeah. All 26 of them.
Yeah. So
what do you have here?
Everything that's in here is now online, so you're going to be able to see it. But this is our all-new Paradigm 380 MP. And there's no photos online. There's going to be a few posts today if you go follow Alliance RV, and you can see more of it. But we're going to tour it today.
So this is breaking news, Joe.
Breaking news.
We're on the forefront of it.
Beep,
Yeah.
beep,
All right.
beep, beep,
Yep,
beep,
yep.
beep.
Where do you start with something?
Let's
like
start on a couple things on the exterior here. So we give you 2 awnings to maximize your campsite, right?
Yep.
And then also we give you this huge pass-through storage that is perfect for things like chairs and bikes and anything that you, not bikes, but maybe kayaks. Also, all new for 2024, we're going to give you these 3-way switches. So you can safely control your awnings from the outside. Also your slide outs as well. So no matter where you're camping, in case you run into a tree or you're tight and you can't pop it out all the way, you can safely see it from the exterior.
You know what I like, Joe? This is very clean.
Yes.
Very, very well appointed. But you know, this is not an afterthought. Oh yeah, we got an underground bay. This is very functional.
100%.
Very easy. And look at, I mean, linoleum.
Yeah, absolutely.
Vinyl?
Yep, vinyl. So everything that you're going to find in Alliance is going to be a customer-driven feature. And that means that we took the time, and it's not just the marketing team, it's the sales team, it's the service team, it's everybody.
From day one.
From day one.
From day one.
And they're just going to keep on making all these little tiny changes to make your camping experience better. Let's take a look inside. Beautiful, right?
This is striking.
Beautiful.
You know, this is really.
So we went with a really contemporary look
Yeah.
to kind of appease all audience types.
Mm-hmm.
You still got great features like solid surface countertops, deep stainless steel sinks, residential can lighting, which is, you know, usually you find that in like a high-end motorhome. You got 12-volt, 19 cubic foot refrigerator, 30-inch residential microwave, 4-burner cooktop stove, and then a large oven that can easily fit a turkey in there.
Yeah, and you got a little coffee nook, so you
Got a little
gotta start
coffee
your
nook.
coffee in the morning.
And a
little
pantry right over here.
Right.
Yep. But the coolest thing, this is, as far as this half of the trailer, it's pretty common floor plan. We've done a lot of little things that you guys can see in a later video.
Yeah.
Let's look behind door number 1 here.
Oh, no.
So why don't you guys go in first? Take a look.
Oh, this room.
Oh,
Our multi-purpose room.
The flex room,
Yeah.
yeah.
So what we did here is we got really creative. The engineering team, the sales team got really creative, and not everyone needs an office, but not everyone needs a bunk room. So we kind of made it multi-purpose. So we continued the solid surface countertops in here, made it a large desk, TV. You got a loft up here, and the entry is actually up on the other side. And then we give you this Eurolift bed. See that little button right next to you?
Yeah.
Press the up arrow.
This one?
Other one. Right there.
This one?
Yeah,
Up,
press
up.
Right there.
Oh, that.
Yeah. And so this goes all the way up then, and it's smooth, it's easy to use. And then, so now what we're doing here is, if you don't need that lift, push it up out of the way, it's out of sight of mind. Still got a huge window.
Yeah.
And this is a sleeper sofa.
Huge
as well.
window.
Yeah. And it's our atrium style window to maximize airflow.
Yep.
And that's
I love
really
this office
outside.
concept,
That's,
too. Yep.
Even though we're inside, that's outside.
Even though we're inside,
Yeah.
that's outside, correct.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Nice. The lighting effects all around.
Yeah, so we really took our time to do our research and make sure that it works out well. You're also going to find like flush floor kitchen slides. So if you walk into some other competitor brands, they're going to have a little toe kick. So, and then that's just hard to cook around, so it's flush floors.
Yep.
So, yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. You guys can see the rest on AllianceRV.com if you want a full depth tour. Yeah.
Hey, I wanted to cut a little early because it's getting a little bit late here, John.
There we go. Right up.
Yeah,
7.
so I wanted to sneak this in before we had said our goodbyes. Okay, here you go.
Okay, there we go. So we want to thank our friends at Seacoast RV for sponsoring the show tonight. They've got Elevation, they've got Winnebago, and they've got Crop. They're the number one dealer in those 2 park models. They have created family fun for hundreds of families in the years that they've been in business. Creating family fun. On Route 1 in Saco, Maine, it's our friends at Seacoast RV. We expect Mr. Zagami to be with us next week, next week, when we've got more, we'll have a lot more videos. He said he got up 7 or 8 more videos today. Tony and Peggy are in, I forget where they were. They said, I forgot to mention them before. Thank you for the reviews. And wait a minute, maybe they're in Elkhart and we missed them. Peggy, Peggy/Tony, are you in Elkhart now? Did we miss you, just not run into you? But whatever it is, that's the story. This is RV in New England. Bernie Cullen did an excellent job of standing in for Mr. Zagami.
Yeah, first time on the old production part of it. Yep.
Yeah. Oh, so Tony is at Open House and Peggy is at the Homestead. Oh, Tony's here and I missed you. Oh, well, Tony. Bob is still there. Bob is there through tomorrow night. So maybe you can catch him. I know he's going to, tomorrow he's going to go to Truma. He's having a big lunch at noontime. So that's the story. RVing in New England. We thank you for being with us. We thank you. You're the best audience in the world. See you next week.
Absolutely magnificent. Thank you, folks.
This edition of RVing in New England was a presentation of the New England RV Dealers Association. Thanks for watching, and be sure to like us on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram.